I don't know how much Arnold and Azoth saw last night's adventure, but basically, you guys are going to be going through the portal to the Feywild, and that's kind of where the adventure picks up.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see anything last night, so.
I'm going to get around to making a highlight. Kind of explains all that.
Yeah, you gave me a description, but...
Yeah, well, there was a lot of information that was found out, but basically what's happened is you guys were sent as more reinforcements to the pyramids of Synodicia and the jungles of Chult, and you made contact with the, well, of course you went and talked to the warrior maidens of Matarua, and then there was a teleporter still that took you to the third pyramid where the Magi of Usamigaris are holed up, and they had sent you on through a portal on a quest to murder one of their heretic members named Jadamu. And once you go through the portal, of course, you eventually would find a cave or make contact with the rest of the people who had come through the portal. You find out pretty quick that there's no way to come back. It's a one-way trip.
Did we forget to mention that?
Well, and on that note, we can still have adventures here where you're here and you're in Waterdeep, you know, and that kind of thing. Those would be like flashback adventures, things that happened in the past. We'll do divergent timelines.
All right, cool.
So you guys will have gone through that portal and made contact with the others who went through, in this case Havlarn and Ryan, maybe scouting to check for anybody else who comes through, and they found you two. And if you watch the video, once you see the highlight, yeah, they did make contact with Jadamu. As it turns out, Auriga, according to Jadamu, is the real bad guy, loyal to Mumra. And Jadamu had several suggestions of ways to go about defeating Mumra, who exists in all three planes. Hopefully you guys are okay with all that, and I'll move you over to the caves where Jadamu and the Mushroom Kingdom are.
Is this something where a horse would be useful, or does Ryan just have her horse because?
I have my horse just because, but I'm actually going to leave Raven this time. I mean, I know I took Raven last time, but it turned out to not really benefit me.
So Raven stays with the mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because when all the epic mounts left, I did have Azoth buy a horse, but there really hasn't been any purpose in having it, so.
Yeah. I don't know if you checked the
Don't you
house
have
rules.
a broom?
He's got a broom, yeah.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to buy.
Do you want to buy a broom? Want to have bought a broom?
Well, let me see what my...
Check your funds. I don't think you have
Exactly. I want to see if I have the
spent
funds.
everything upgrading Raven to Warhorse.
Yeah, I only have 140 now. Yeah, Raven's a warhorse, so I should have bought the broom instead of the warhorse, but...
On that note, if you guys, I don't know if you guys, Arnold and Azoth had a chance to check the house rules, but I finally got rules up for mounts. So those are back in. Not so much exotic, like dinosaur type thing, but...
Arnold! We met a Triceratops last night.
Yeah, I saw that. It didn't get me baby though. I'm sad.
That's
No,
true, man.
sorry.
Well, and I guess in that sense, you could possibly get a new siege monster. If things work out that way, that's kind of up to you. Or if it's something you want to let me know.
Well, I'm probably just ending up taking Paladin Neville and Find Steed.
There you go.
Well, that will also work. Yeah, that is.
What's up with the red carpet? The dots on it move.
The textures move, don't they? Yeah, it's weird,
If
huh?
I move this, yeah.
If you zoom out, they get bigger. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So anyway, if you guys do want to mount, they level up now. You know, they'll get more hit points and stuff. Also, for reach, if you want to add an aura of 5 feet, of course for Azoth doesn't matter. You always have a bow, but Arnold, if you wanted to do an aura of 5 feet, that at least would show your reach. Makes calculating attacks a lot easier. That's another thing that we changed since yesterday.
Did you say 5 feet? Mine's 10.
I know yours is 10. You got a spike chain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want a 320-foot aura?
That may not be necessary.
Hmm. Can I roll my hit points?
Oh yeah, you leveled up. You can.
Congrats.
You taking a level of Paladin, you said?
Yep. I was
Interesting.
gonna go Paladin now.
Cool. Is this
You have the
wow,
charisma
this
for
is
that?
9th level?
Yeah, it's a nice. Wait, do I need charisma for that?
You need 13 charisma and 13 strength.
Did I look at the wrong thing again?
Uh-oh.
Not that I'm trying to discourage you from it.
God damn it.
Why is your int
Yeah.
so high?
I guess he was gonna go.
Headband of intellect
Oh,
thing.
Headband of Intellect. Oh, that'll do it. Well,
no, I can't
don't-
take any cool things. That's so.
I can help you out, Arnold, if it's important for your character. I don't think you get any use out of Dex, except maybe on saves. You could swap that 13 with Charisma. I don't mind.
It wouldn't affect your armor class.
No, it wouldn't mess with your armor class. You'd lose 1 from your Dex saves. That's it. And acrobatics for all those backflips you do. And cartwheels.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you let me do that, that's even more complicated because then I kind of want to be the sorcerer again.
Well, you can hold on to your level if you'd like. Wait and see. So I assume you have not...
Why sorcerer instead
Yeah,
of paladin?
yeah.
Out of curiosity.
Then blow stuff up later on.
He's the siege master, remember?
Well, you should switch from being a life cleric to a light cleric. If you want to blow
They
stuff
do get
up.
a lot of fire. That is true. Felnar was pretty cool. The one time I saw Hick. You got some things to think about. Let me know when you decide. In the meantime, I'm going to jump you guys over to the caves.
Multi-classing. Yeah, so
Yeah,
paladin
so
has to have
complicated.
13 strength and 13 charisma. Paladin and monk and ranger have to have 2 stats at 13.
Yeah, they are kind of prestige class
Yeah.
type of things.
I think I looked at Monk or something because I read Wisdom and was happy, but
Yeah.
now I'm sad again.
I think Paladin is a good choice theme-wise, just because Arnold has always represented Moradin.
Yeah, that's true. That's. Yeah.
Tough choices.
Well, you could sit on it for a week if you want. You could roll the D10 hit points just so that you have them, if that's...
I already
clincher
sat
for
on
you.
it for a week and just today realized that I need 13 charisma for this.
Yeah, you mentioned reading the rule book earlier.
Yeah.
That damn thing will bite you every time. Alright, so the whole gang's here anyway. You guys made contact with Havlarn and Ryan, who were out scouting on horseback through the Feywild.
So, number 1 rule, these shrooms you don't eat, okay?
Okay.
You
Okay,
can huff
good.
spores.
Please have the spores, because then you can speak in a collective, and that's really awesome. If I
That
do
does
say so
actually
myself.
last an hour, yeah. You guys can speak telepathically once you huff the spores.
Oh, that rocks. We need to carry these spores. I'd like to do a test and, see if I can carry the spores around in a bag to huff later. Or something.
Oh, yeah, well, the little guys are the same size as you. Nah, they kind of come off those guys. I don't know. Now I'm going to have to do some botany research. This is kind of what the Feywild looks like for you guys who missed it. You are still in the jungles of Chult in the Feywild version of it. There is a white fortress of the mountains that you're able to see, just catch a glimpse of.
Oh
which you
yeah,
found
does
out.
that the temple?
It was a fortress that was, so you've got the Gloaming Glade, which Della the Noble, the unicorn, once presided over. She was defeated by King Grickbar, the Fomorian king, and that fortress there was the Elven fortress, which kind of they guarded the borders together. And so without the unicorn, the Fomorian king was easily able to invade the Elven fortress, and now he's subjugated all of them. They have been enslaved or eaten or both in that fortress. And so that's where Jadamu has suggested making contact with the Furbolgs to help you kind of in your quest to liberate that fortress, because at some point, as you know, you're going to have to get to that mirror and release Stella. So it's kind of you got a lot of irons in the fire here. You also, as you guys, the party decided, plan of action would be to find out, the first thing would be to find out the command word for the mirror. Because it wouldn't do any good to go in and find the mirror if you don't know the command word to release the unicorn.
Right.
To that end, Jadamu has a suggestion as finding a drow. While you may be able to find one and you may be able to extract the answer from them, they would probably lie anyway. He's not too sure about that plan. He agrees that finding the command word is a good plan, though, but he has another way to go about it. He says that there are a group of 3 that live in the mountains there, close by that fortress here. Nearby, one of them comes to pick mushrooms now and then, and he has met her. She's not particularly friendly. They are kind of more like acquaintances, but he knows that they have a lot of knowledge and hidden lore, being natives of the Feywild. They may be able to help.
Okay. They wouldn't be hags by chance, would they?
Jadamu says, well, at 94, he's not too picky, but he can understand your hesitance.
A hag is like a witch, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Jadamu says, here we go, casting names about again. By the way, I don't know if I made it clear, Pavlarn. Your cloak is the symbol of the gloaming glade.
Yes.
Jadamu will point that out.
Yes, I figured
Yes,
that.
Arnold and Azoth, that's the cloak, the symbol that Havlarn wears, and it does symbolize the gloaming glade.
Somehow my daddy was a servant of the Gloaming Glade or something, or a member or something. I don't know. I have daddy issues.
So,
well,
what are you
okay.
guys gonna do?
We can go meet these sisters. That's fine. I'm rather charming.
All right. Jadamu will send you guys off to find them.
Hi-ho!
He gives you some directions. They're basically halfway up those mountains there, just to the side of that fortress. And yeah, he says you should be on your best behavior. They may be a little touchy at times. We got Arnold's hammer.
Did you say witty?
Touchy.
Uh,
I did buy a map. It's what was it called? I want to give credit here because you're about to see it. I think it was called Quick Encounter Mountain.
Excuse me.
Well, come on, Internet. Quick Encounters Mountains by Gabriel Picard. Quite happy with it. Okay. Got
So
that.
once you buy a map pack, all the resources are in your library. You can mix and match, right?
That is correct.
Oh, that's
and you can download them locally to your computer as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm pleased.
So I think I'm gonna go Paladin.
Did you decide?
Yeah.
It does seem like a pretty good option.
Come to
Okay,
the
so
paladin side.
are you gonna roll for your? Are you gonna roll for your hit points?
Well, sure, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then pretend I give you bardic inspiration so you roll really well. I wish it worked for that. That would be great if it did, right?
Wouldn't it?
Totally
All
would.
right. It's a D10 for
I'll
that.
play a tune for him while he's leveling up. Go, Arnold, go, go.
Eh,
Morden has faith, you can do it, we know.
I know at your 4th level you took Heavy Armor Master at 8th. Did you end up taking Warcaster?
yeah.
All right. Just
That'll
documenting
come
that.
handy with a paladin.
Well,
Huh.
that's median.
Huh.
Could have been worse.
Are you a
I
gambler?
got a 2 with my last one.
I mean, we are playing dice here, so.
Well
Please
done.
don't.
I would have rolled it too. That's
That paid
awesome.
off.
You would roll all the time.
Oh, all the time.
And you make everyone roll again all the
I
time.
don't make you guys. You guys can do whatever you want, but I do say roll again. Yeah, although I think it's Ryan. She rolled shitty, and so every time I rolled, it was like worse. She doesn't have a lot of points.
So
Ryan
if
was
Azoth rolled a 1, does he get 0 hit points?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Trouble's first character, Adri, that's how she died.
Yeah.
She got strength drained by a shadow because she had also she had a negative con mod, and yeah, she'd spin a hit die and not get any hit points. Yeah, it was.
And it was horrible.
ugly. Can happen.
wow.
But I still rolled the dice.
Yeah, I need some extra con then. Oof. Okay, so Arnold, be glad you put that 13 in charisma now, so you got that +1 to your charisma saves. That's very important.
Mm-hmm.
For Morians, man, those guys suck.
Also, Arnold, I know you don't have spells yet. As a paladin, you don't get that until 2, I think. But all the spells have been built in your journal tab. If you want to copy-paste spells, they're all in there. You just need to. Well, there's a description in there. It explains you have to get casting and level as new attributes or abilities. Attributes.
Okay.
But all the spells are in there. Make it easy for you.
As a paladin and a cleric, you would need 2 casting levels. You need either cleric level and paladin level, or just level
That's
and
true.
paladin level.
That's true. You've
Yeah,
mixed
that's something you
classes,
probably
so
should put on the what you call
Although-
it thing.
I don't think paladin spells ever actually reference your charisma. It determines how many spells you get, but the spells themselves never
No,
reference
but
it. So that
but
makes it
casting
easy.
is a higher level spell slot though, and you would have to know. Well, you're right.
Still would reference
Paladins
charisma.
are pretty.
It's just all about beating things up.
Yeah, and most of the
Yeah.
paladin spells, so you know, all require concentration. So you're basically only using one spell, unless you drop the concentration and pick a different spell. So it's not like you have any that are instant and that don't require concentration. All of them require concentration. That's what sucks about paladin.
Well, cleric is not much different.
Cleric has some
Yeah.
similarity there. You got Shield
Yeah.
of Faith.
Yeah, they're just constantly,
that.
you get one. There you go. There it is. And there's no like fire bolts or anything with paladin. You basically have buffers. I guess that's the word I'm looking
Arnold will
for.
have that. He has Sacred
They
Flame.
have buffs. Which actually, you know, even if you were all paladin, taking 1 level of cleric would actually be pretty beneficial for that.
You might think of that. It's kind of like what Jera was.
Right. She started
Yeah.
as a cleric.
Yep.
Alright, so you guys travel through the Feywild. I do need some checks for avoiding dinosaurs, wyverns, manticores, fomorians,
Spiders.
spiders. What they found out was that without the unicorn there to protect the Gloaming Glade, the Gloaming Glade was a growing grounds for treants, and so the Fomorians go through setting fire to trees until they find one that wakes up, and then they laugh and guffaw, send it screaming on fire through the forest. setting fire to treants. It's good times.
What kind of check do you want?
Wisdom, survival, or intelligence, nature. Which one do you want?
You tell me
Or
how you want to
dex
apply a
stealth.
skill, and yeah, that one would also work.
Oh, well, if we're gonna do stealth, then I'm all for stealth.
You don't all have to do the same check. This is an abstract montage. How do you guys handle
Okay.
the situation?
Well, then I'm doing stealth.
Okay.
I did stealth also.
Ryan slinks through the forest without issue. Havlarn does it as well, and you guys actually got pretty much the same thing.
Hmm.
You got
Azoth,
25?
do you have
Options.
advantage on stealth checks?
24.
What?
Me?
24.
No.
I got 25. That's awesome.
Azoth, sorry, I didn't hear. Do you have advantage on dance?
I don't think so. But I do have a +6.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
see
have
that.
a cloak or boots of any kind?
Nope.
Your friends will tell you the Fomorians have deranged faces and have eyes basically all the way around their heads and are quite good at detection, spotting things.
But they're also loud and obnoxious.
That's true too. And this is, you don't all have to roll stealth. Arnold, how are you proceeding? What's your best contribution to the party?
Well, not stealth. I don't know. I could try to be smart in picking my way.
Well, that was wisdom. What were you rolling for?
That I'm smart enough not to run into monsters.
So perception, keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, nobody rolled catastrophically. There would be a moment where Azoth comes flying down to the party with a wyvern hot on his tail. Maybe a couple, and it sees the whole party there and decides it will find easier prey and flaps away. And Azoth learns a lesson about flying, maybe? Canopy, the trees are huge, 300 feet up before you reach the tops of the trees, and so there's a lot of area for branches. There's like layers of wildlife through here. Good news, bad news. You guys reach the mountains. It does clear out as far as canopy and forest goes, but it's rough climbing. These mountains are pretty sheer in their cliff areas. Jadamo gave you pretty good instructions though on how to find the trail, and you find that trail and are able. There are some precarious spots and a lot of drop-offs, and the terrain is a factor. Long story short, all of you give me perception checks.
Bum, bum, bum. That's my passive.
It's not great.
No, I think Ryan and Azoth are comparing notes or something. They both rolled not great. Okay, Havlarn, I see yours. Yours is good. And Arnold's is good. Both rolled pretty much the same as well. Arnold, well, and that being the case, I'm going to set you guys up in such a way that Arnold and Havlarn are out front.